Okay. Hello, we're going no camera this morning because I just woke up and I just want to chill and program. So notification email still broken. Elon Musk breaks everything. Okay. So what I want to do today, yesterday we sort of got this basic functionality of these story objects playing cutscenes. But then I decided I want to change the way it works to be similar to the way the level unlocks work. Which means a few things. It means we save in the save game the list of all the cutscenes that you've ever seen. And when we load the level, we just set the state of these based on that. And they don't get handled by undo. So if you undo, the story scene won't turn back on. So I'm going to try to do all that over the next couple hours. It shouldn't be too hard because, like I said, we already do all this for the levels. And so I should just sort of be able to lay down parallel code for that. But the first thing to do then would be to store it in the file, right? Which means a few things. We're going to need to bump the file version by 1 for the... There's two kinds of save game file. Like per level, we have what's called the undo state file. That's the .history file. And then we have the status file. The status file is like your overall campaign, and that's where these things go, of like just what's all the levels and stuff. And the reason we have two kinds is you always have this one for your save game, and then maybe for each level that's in progress, you have this one. And we don't pack them into the same file because we delete some of these selectively as time goes on, as you finish levels and whatever. Right? Okay. So this one's going to be 14. We're getting off unlucky number 13, which is great. I want to make sure... Yeah, okay. So sometimes we just reject anything that's less than, but we're not doing that right now. Okay, so when we load... Well, let's just do it. There's going to be a hash table somewhere. Save the current level name. Save hash table. Okay. Save hash table. cs.cutscenes viewed. Doesn't exist yet. We're going to add it. And we're going to add some code. Right? So we're just going to put a string, and we're actually not going to want to store a value per cutscene. So we're putting empty code. Empty code so you don't store a value per name. Just the name, exclamation point. Now, as soon as we start doing this, we're going to break when we load things, right? So we're going to have to say, right? So we put the save hash table here. It's after the levels visited and the level ratings. So we find the levels visited. See, if version is greater than or equal to 10, we do level ratings. Well, here we want to do version is greater than or equal to 14. We load hash table concepts unlocked. No, not concepts, cutscenes viewed. And again, an empty code. Right? Okay. Yep. I don't actually know if we can make a hash table that maps to void. So I'm not going to try that. But it doesn't matter because we're not saving the value, so we could change it later. All right, so we actually have to make this cutscenes viewed thing. So like the reason, like, see, this table, it's core code that we give to everybody who has the compiler. And I try to keep that as simple as possible. And I think if we put a void value there, we maybe have to have a few more static ifs to like not write the value or whatever. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to cruff the code up with that extra stuff. Then again, maybe it would work. I don't know. What is the reason it needs a hash table? Because we're going to look it up, you know, like 100 times every time you load the level, and there's going to be 100 of them. So you're either doing 100 things or 10,000 things. It's kind of a difference, right? Okay. Now what? Well, before we even try to use this hash table, we can now just run our game. We make sure it compiles first of all. Now we make sure we can load our old save game. And then we make sure we can save with the new hash table, which will be empty. And then we make sure we can load that. And if all that works, then we're good. Hey, look, I'm where I was. So that loaded correctly. We don't see any error spew. That's great. So let's walk somewhere. I'm going to cheat my way through this wall, and I'm going to walk over here and go here. So we're on the little mini map here. Now I'm going to quit. And now when we load, we should have a version 14 state file, which should also load fine. There we go. So guys, when people are all like scared of serialization and binary files, and oh my God, I have to write everything as JSON or else I'm going to die, and I need to force people who play my video game called Red Dead Redemption 2 to load 300 terabytes of JSON every time they do anything. It's not necessary. This is like, did you see how simple that was? That's just what it's like when you do serialization cleanly. It's fine. This is our own binary file format that's very compact, and it just works. Oh, GTA Online, right. It wasn't Red Dead, it was GTA. I sound like I woke up 15 minutes ago. That's not a coincidence. Okay. Why not to just use protobuf? Because I don't want to. For many good reasons. Why not just use Unity? Same thing. Okay. Like protobuf especially, right? Like at least use flat buffers or whatever the thing is called that's less crazy than protobuf. All right. Now, let's start using it. So the next step is to actually add things to this table, which is very easy. And we're not really going to, we're just going to make sure that compiles once we add it, but we're not going to test it because there's like nothing visual there. But when we go to the story file here, right, remember player control triggers story. We say play full screen video. All right. I'm actually not going to put it here. I'm going to put it in place full screen video. And the reason I'm going to do that is because, like I said, sometimes inside levels, we have markers that trigger things. And we also want those to go in the hash table, because one of the whole reasons we're doing it this way is because on the mini map, we want to be able to have little story pedestals that tell you about whether you've seen those and let you review them if you want without having to play the whole level, right? And so let's, I think that's here, play full screen. All right. CS is get campaign state and table add CS dot, maybe not table add, table set, because we CS dot, what I call it, cutscenes viewed, short name true. All right. Mark that we have seen this video. All right. Cool. So that's fine. Actually, let's only do it if we succeed. Because like for some, I don't know, if we error out, we won't save it. So I'm just going to put this here very conspicuously. All right, cool. So now that we theoretically set this data and save this data, now we want to use it when we load. And that's what I was saying about we already do this for levels. So let's just look for that code. Oh boy. It's not all this code. It's, you know, a little bit of it. Let's look in when we load things. Post load enabled T target. I don't even know what that is. Let's ignore that for a bit. I'm just scanning up through all this to look for what maybe seems relevant. Oh, it's probably here. It's probably here. Level signal freezer unlock. No. Unlock old, here we go. Here we go. Okay, who calls that? Do I want to just put it in here? Unlock old level entries means Yeah, when we're on the overworld and we've looked, this will be in like level start reevaluate probably, which is like init level general. Yeah, this is a giant ass function that does things. Also calls level start reevaluate, which is another giant ass function that does things. Now, let's just say unlock old stories. Okay. And we're just going to do this. Right? So for every story entity in the level, we're going to find cutscenes viewed it.name. If we found it in that hash table, if found we saw this cutscene, so set us to viewed. Okay, and the story entity enabled and played cutscene. We'll set these. And that's, whoops, true, not. Am I programming in C in 1971? So that's kind of it for that. Now, so that's when we load the level. And then, you know, in the middle of the level, we have the code that we wrote yesterday that changes the state. Now, there's the undo part of it. This is actually a bug workaround. I'm just going to put this here. It really probably doesn't need to be there, but actually maybe it does now. Caser. Okay. So story, we're just making it exempt from undo. So here, this should ignore entity is like, hey, and maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe it's totally broken now. How many lines of code? Well, you can see that every time you compile. Oops. Because I couldn't write the executable, we bailed out and didn't print it. So depending on how you count, we have 170,000 or 250,000. Okay. I mean, let's just start a new campaign and see what happens. Okay, now there's also these old audio storybooks with the awesome voice acting. Those are not getting recorded in this right now and stuff. So we're going to ignore them. Actually, I should record them, because if I don't, now that they don't get saved in undo, they'll turn on every time, and that'll annoy the shit out of people. All right. So as we did last night, these levels are not unlocked, and I can't play them. I have to watch the cutscene of the dude, and yeah, and we skip it. Because everybody skips cutscenes. Come on, man. All right, so So I'm just playing levels, you know, as you do. Okay. Boom. Okay, well, it already doesn't work. Because this one is still glowing. Which is badge. Okay, so either we didn't save it in the hash table correctly for some reason, or we're not restoring it correctly for some reason. Let's just watch this cutscene for a second. All right. This one works now. That's weird. Why does this one not work? And that one works? Let's watch this one again.
Free.
And now that one doesn't. What is happening? Okay, so let's schmatch to the process. Debug, attach to process, a concept that people seem to have completely forgotten is possible in the universe because they're scared of computers and only program in JavaScript. And now, when we save the game, we can just see what happens, right? We can make sure that this hash table, all right? So we're saving this hash table. And I'm just going to put a breakpoint here. Key is, oh. Yeah, okay, I was a dumb butt. Guys, I was a dumb butt. I made a total noob mistake. Mystery solved. The mystery of the mystery machine, is that Scooby-Doo's car or whatever? Yeah, I didn't copy the string. So when we do this, it doesn't have its own storage. So yeah. And then we're not really cleaning up after our hash tables right now. We're kind of leaking these. Let's fix that. Yeah. So we're like copying these strings. I'm just going to put it on the list. Let's get it working. I'm going to write down on a piece of paper, clean up. Dude, I have this terrible pen right now. Hold on. I need to go get a good pen. So, I make sure there's like 9 or 10 pens around, and then they slowly bleed over time, and then there's somehow 0 pens. Okay, better pen acquired. I'm writing down cleanup strings in campaign state. Okay, so let's try this again. Broski. All right, so these are going to be unviewed, but I will go view this one. And then I come back out. We reload the level. There we go. Now I'll view this one. And then we come back out and that's viewed. Now I'm going to quit. I'm going to restart the game. They are still viewed, which is great. Now, I'm going to go over here, and these are viewable. And I can watch the cutscene. Okay. Now, that's kind of the thing. See, we're going to want to make the audio ones record. Let's go do this one. F. All right.
Can't believe I finally
Exit to overworld. Okay. Go here. We got this buddy. Same cutscene. Now I want to test making sure they're still disabled correctly if we haven't seen it. So here I'm going to open this sector up over here. This cutscene, oops. Let me turn off cheats. This cutscene, yeah. I probably should put a better string for that. Let me write that down. But anyway, there's 1 or 2 more things to test. I'm going to walk over here. I'm just walking around. I'm going to watch this cutscene. We're loading the level. We're doing the thing where we're loading the level and processing the textures because of debug build and all that. And
okay then.
So now if I undo, yeah, see I'm undoing to back when I was walking around here. This is unscathed by the undo. And now if I go back to this other sector on the mini-map, it is there. So, I mean, that's literally the main thing that I was hoping to get done in the stream, is what is now done. Jeej. So I think we take the W for that. Any questions about what we just did? It's called video game programming. Now, before we check in, no. By the way, I just tried clicking cancel and whatever on this and it didn't work because it was like loading. Don't ever make a program that does that. All right. I wanted to go, right, and also do this when we do the audio only cutscenes. Play full screen video. Cutscenes. They'll probably just be removed eventually. But in the meantime, we want them to save load correctly so that players don't get weird behavior. Okay, so story.name. Cool. We can test that real fast. Probably don't need to. Okay, so right now, let's go back to the hubby hub. So,
The secrets of this land are
okay,
contained
so
to the north.
these are the very
You'll find
first
the
things
story.
that we put.
The secrets of this land are contained to the north. You'll find the story.
Okay,
The
so
heroes of Sokoban.
when I quit out and come back, boom. Okay. Now there's still a problem, which is the following. Good thing we tested it. With these legacy audio cutscenes, there's a thing where they become not invisible. And that doesn't work now. Well, it works like you saw it, but the thing is, we don't save them in undo anymore. So the fact that they became visible no longer works. Like, however, I think we're going to remove these eventually or replace them with something different. And I don't feel that this mechanic of them becoming visible is that important. So I'm just going to make them visible off the rip. It used to be more important because they used to be like clustered closely in the middle, and we wanted to control more that you do this one first because otherwise it's random feeling. But it's like these are, you probably do this one first anyway, and if you don't, that's up to you. It's fine. So I don't think we need all this, right? So here, and then enable other stories. I think we could deprecate that. putting that on the list. Enable other stories deprecated, which is great because we can remove that code. Now, I'm just going to test this out, probably by starting a new campaign. How long will it be until I plan to release this game? 10 million years. Do you zero out the hash tables in memory after they have no more pointers pointing to them? No. No. This is not Python. So I got distracted by questions. What literally... Ah, yes. Okay, so we want to make sure that all these work. Let me just do it from a new campaign. So I'm going to do this wonderful voice acting. I'm going to go here.
To the east,
Yeah.
the story
So this
of
is fine.
traveling student in the Mirror Eye.
And now,
To the north, you'll find
so
the story
I'm going to
of
quit the
heroes
game.
of Sokoban.
We're going to start it up again. We're going to make sure those signs are still there, which they will be because they're not tagged invisible anymore. Cool. That one's there. Although, honestly, we don't even really need these. In fact, I'm going to delete them, actually, because we've got these signs and then these other cutscenes now. I don't think we need these. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm just going to put this here. I'm going to delete these. Put that there, that's fine. I'm going to delete these. And this has a sign, that's great. And I'm going to delete these. Boop. Dude, I've got so many trash campaigns. Let me write down for the people on the team what I'm doing so they know. But got my other laptop here. So I'm going to type for them story entities. Cutscenes viewed are now saved in save games. Loaded at story entities. Initted at level start and not subject to undo, just like level entries. Deleted the initial for audio only cutscenes in sarcasm quotes around the starting area, along with the freezers blocking you out of those levels. That was a useful thing when we did it because it gave us a little bit of structure, but we now don't need it. Okay. So this is cool. So I'm going to do that.
Secrets of this land are contained within
I'm going to
all
do...
stories. Each story is a secret.
Okay.
when the seeds of
The audio only cutscene is going while the video cutscene goes, but we don't care because we're not going to have that audio only cutscene in the end. All right, so once again, this is all fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, so now we're going to take the W. Any actual questions about this thing that we did? Record viewed cutscenes in save games. Story entities are not subject to undo. Fuck. Don't ever make something that auto completes. I just wanted to type the word undo and there happens to be a file and I hit enter. It just makes me want to delete all software in the universe when that happens. Okay, don't ever, ever, ever do that. Let people type. Let people know what they are doing. Let people be competent, please. Record viewed cutscenes in save games. No, autocomplete is fine as long as it is explicitly triggered by an out-of-band keystroke that you would not otherwise press. All right. Story entities are not subject to undo. Removed initial audio only cutscenes. That escalated quickly? No, that's just how I feel about it. That's not escalation. I've been feeling that way for a long time. Okay, I've got some things here. This enable other stories thing that we had in the code, we cleared out that field. That was just for that thing, so we can deprecate that. Okay, that was literally just to orchestrate this entry. So now enable other stories. See, this is the thing that makes them not invisible and does some particles. Story appears particles. We can remove the story appears particles as well. All right. So now I'm going to go LLVM build here for a second. This is going to be a little bit agonizing because we're going to go to the particles level. That were used only, that were used. Okay. So we have some particles for story appears. They should look like little stars. It's these. So got a group. Got particles, particles, particles. Particle entities are not. There we go. All right. Delete those bad boys. Oh, wait. Delete. All right. I kind of destroyed them in 2 batches, but that's fine. Okay. Remove enable other stories Oh, why did we... Oh. That's just weird timing related. All right, it's fine. Hopefully. Now, what do we do next? We scratch this off the list. Oh, I wanted a better message for that until level is solved. Because that's an old message. Let me show you. See, if the story is not enabled, well, if it's in the main world, we say story not unlocked until the level is solved. All right. But if it's in the fast travel area, then we want to say something different. We want to say, you know, not unlocked until viewed in the main game, right? Story not unlocked until, okay. So I think I have a function for inside fast travel area. I'm just going to use that. Because otherwise we have to mark them up. If story not unlocked not enabled until, you know what? Maybe I just don't say anything. For now we can put it here until I'm just going to do that. All right. Cool. Yeah, I mean, autocomplete should be bound to a function key or something, right? Okay, now... Okay, that one's viewed and that one isn't. So let's cheat our way. We're going to enable that one, but we're not viewing it. And then we're going to go here. F. Not enabled until the cutscene is first viewed. F. Okay, so that's good. Let's just take the W for that, and then I have a data thing that I want to do. Better message for disabled stories in fast travel areas. Trivial. Commit. But you know what? That's fine. Review pedestals in the fast travel area. So, yes, as mentioned, there are some videos that are in the middle of the level. And let's just place those. Even if we make a mess. Oops. Data, videos. Is my camera in a weird place? Oh, we have camera turned off. That's right. Good. So Heroes and Stones outro. Heroes and Stones intro and Heroes and Stones outro both need to get placed. Prism get, torque get, wand get, exit chamber, and ending cutscenes. So it's a lot. I mean, yeah. You know what? Let's, for our own enjoyment, let's make a release build because LLVM is slow. It will take forever. But this will be for our smooth editing fun times. Oh, hello. I missed the raid. There is a raid happening. Everybody get on the defense so you can defend against all the raiders, I guess. Is how that works. Right? Prepare to repel all borders or whatever. I'm glad you got the beta email. So here's a thing. I don't know if you got the download link yet. You should have. However, we now have enough people on the beta that my lazy way of just sending an email from Gmail to everybody is causing us to get bounced sometimes. So if you haven't got the download link, that'll get addressed over the next few days, hopefully, when I change how we send things out. Okay. Now what? Oh yes, we have all these things to place. So, this is gonna maybe make a mess, and then it'll cause us to think through our situation. Yeah, this is already going to be a disaster, I can see. Here, let's look at the Promise 3 ones, because those are on the edge. It'll be easier to edit. So we have Exit Chamber Alone, Exit Chamber Dragon, Intro. We won't even put Exit Chamber Alone. We'll put Exit in. This is Intro, right? Whoops. Exit Chamber Dragon, End, and Torque Get. So we need 4 of these. I'm going to make this invisible. In fact, hold on. Like I said, we need 4. What just happened? What liter... Wait. Oh, that's in that category. So we're going to put this one here. Okay, so this is Intro, We're going to have exit chamber dragon. We're going to have prism get. And we're going to have promise 3 end. Okay. Let's just test that. So, where's the... Oh, it's over here. Okay, so these look kind of funny. Not enable. Why is it giving me that one? It thinks they're not in the fast travel area. What is our marker here? This frickin'... Is it camera marker? Camera marker. It should think that those are in the fast travel area. I don't know what to say, pal. Oh, you know what? I bet they're like... No? It extends down below. Dude. Oh, wait, no, that's the right message. What am I talking about? Until the cutscene is for... That's the right message. That's the message I put. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. There's no emergency. It's fine. Now, if I go back here and we enter the level, or no, we watch the cutscene. We enter the level. This is actually, yeah, okay. Now I will go back. Go back, Tepi. And now that one is enabled, that one is not, that one is not. But that one is. Cool. Cool. Okay, so let us continue our setup. Those are the promise 3 videos. We need promise 2 videos. Which... blah. We need 3 of them. We need... Wait, do we have... Yeah, we have the end. So for promise 2, we need intro, end, and torque get. So we have intro here, and I just kind of shoved it in this corner. I'm just going to put it down here. Oops. What did I just do? All right, so see, I want to leave these things. Yeah, this is, we're going to want, I'm just making a little invisible thing here. All right. Oh. Okay. Intro is going to be here. Torque get and end. And we're going to get rid of these walls. And these are going to look like they're floating on water. And that just is what it is for now, man. All right. Actually, I don't know. Okay. Promised 1. Intro. End. Wand get. Okay, so we need 3 as well. I mean, I can have them here facing south. Dude, this is kind of ass. It's just, yeah. So it's going to kind of destroy the recognizability of these. Maybe not. I don't know, dude. We're going to have a design discussion. The point of me doing this right now is so we can see how it comes out, and then we will make judgment calls about this. Okay. I'm just thinking about things for a second. All right, I'm just gonna make another invisibee here. For these to stand on. Oh, let's just decide. So I'm gonna put the intro here. Blah. I'm going to put end here. Blah. And then I'm going to put the wand get here. All right. Now, before we go test some more of these, there's 2 more that we need to place. And these are going to be real hard because they are if we zoom, lol. Wait. I got disoriented for a second. Okay, so if we look at here, this one has an intro and an outro thinger. That is over there. So we need to place it in a similar place. Okay, so like here. So we're going to do another invisibee here. And we're going to put 2 dudes there. And these are Heroes and Stones. They're called intro and outro. Okay. Well, that is what it is. I don't love it, but this is a thing where maybe we come up with a visual treatment. Like, one other possibility, because we kind of want to use these, either we fill space with these, walkable space, or they're used as walls. If we fill walkable space, the compactness of this zone doesn't work anymore. It becomes too constipated as we add these. So they kind of have to be walls, like I'm using them here. And then the problem is they just change the look of things too much. So we would either change how these ones look, but still keep them recognizable, or maybe we make a version that's actually like a wall, but the book is sort of tilted more toward you. I don't know. Anyway, now I wanted to go and test this a little bit. So we're going to do okay, that's a little bit obnoxious. Oh, I didn't put them in the groups, guys. I didn't put any of these in the frickin' groups. Gotta remember to group the schmoop, the loop-de-loop, the bishmabble loop. Okay, so now with this one, this guy's actually in the next zone, which is kind of not good. But we could actually turn him that way and do that. And then do that. And then when we schmoop the schloop, it should be okay. All right, so I watch the cutscene. I'm here. All right, I exit. Now let's go down here. Review. Okay, so now we have these schmoop to schmoops. And I can review that. So that's great. Now I go into the level. Now we're going to test the first piece of new functionality enabled by all this, which is what happens when we get this thing. Okay. Anyway. So we skip out of that. Go back to the overworld. Now, we don't have that cutscene here. But when you go over to here, we do. So this is the intro again. And this is this one. This is going to be pretty cool, actually. I would go so far as to say it's going to be dope, or even dipe. Okay, I think that's it for that. I think we take the W on that. Add cutscenes to the fast travel area. Is it going to be ill? It's got more rhymes than Phyllis Diller. Okay. That's weird. Anyway. I'm getting kind of hungry. I want to go to Brecca lunch soon. In fact, maybe I want to go now. Let's do one more thing. Because I just have one more thing on the notes, which is cleaning up those strings in the hash tables. So we have table reset, which we can do. No, table. Yeah, you know what? That actually doesn't matter. So we only ever, yeah, this is kind of stupid. I'm actually not going to do it. I'm just going to write a comment because we only ever call this routine when we exit the game. We could actually, that's not true. That's not true because when you load a different save file, right? What happens? Just hold this thought here. Load newest campaign. Oh, you know what? Yeah, so switch to campaign. Load campaign. All right. We read the file. We load hash table. Okay, load hash table resets the old table, but this is a memory leak. Actually, if you load, every time you load a new campaign, we leak. Sag. All right. So So we don't always copy strings for any table that has strings in it. So if we go up here, right, actually, cutscenes viewed, level visited, level ratings. Actually, all three of those. Okay. Table reset, table. All right. Um, let's reset it. Static if that. Okay. This whole concept's unlocked. This isn't even a thing anymore. We like don't do that. But I'm not going to worry about that yet. Because, I don't know, we might actually want to do that. Okay, so free hash table strings for value key table free string key. So that's pretty easy. Oh, well, do I not have free string? Really? I just normally use that. Lol. I think we just say free then. I don't, I feel like that's messy. Like free with a string overload, but we did it, so it is what it is. All right. Well, I don't know. Let's make sure I didn't screw the pooch on that. Memory lakes are fun. Memory lake is my favorite Intel CPU. Okay, so we have all kinds of stupid ass campaigns that we played. This is one from November 10. This one from yesterday. A bunch of these from yesterday and today are just going to be us testing the story thing. I should delete this inaccurate for old campaigns string. Let me do that. Like, we can delete this once this feature has been around for a while. Yes. I'm going to leave this though, because when you internationalize, you might want a different thing for 0. That's just fine. Astral Pigeon 106 or Ancestral Pigeon. Okay. Cool. Let's see where Ancestral Pigeon was. Oh, that was just like I zapped my way directly into the level. Yeah, this is all fine. Seems to be working. I don't know what to tell you, pal. So let's check that in. Clean up strings when loading a new campaign state. Wish this wasn't so slow. All right. So I think with that, I'm going to sign off and get some nourishment. I didn't even know, you know, I have a call at 2, and I was like, maybe we can get all this programming done by then. And we did it all in an hour 20. Not just programming, but level setup and all this stuff. So that's great. How much has the concept changed during development of the programming language? It changed a lot in the very beginning. Like if you watch the initial YouTube videos where I just had ideas but hadn't done anything yet, it's pretty different from that. But after the first like 6 months, we sort of like I figured out what it was really, and it's mostly proceeded forward from that without any like radical. Well, there's been a few things. Like we tried adding constructors once and it didn't work out. But for the most part, it's been a pretty linear, straightforward thing. All right, thanks everybody for coming by. This was a quick little stream where we did a bunch of stuff, and we'll do more stuff later on. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you. See you all later on.